Howdy everyone, John here, and today we're taking a look at the Saris MHS on our 2020 Ford Escape. This is going to be a great way to have a tire hold platform style bike rack that can get your heavier bikes out to the trails and on the road. That's going to encapsulate a lot of your heavier mountain bikes and your e-bikes, so you won't have to worry about it as much. And let's say you don't have as heavy of bikes and you have carbon frame or odd framed bikes, you luckily have a way of holding it by the tires, not only by the arms, but also we have these straps down here just for some extra stability. But overall, that's a really good setup. Now let's take a closer look at the arms. Now, the arms are going to hold the tire in place, but there is going to be the button down here to undo it. It's going to take a little bit of force, but once you do, you can take a look that you can actually undo this. And let's say you have some smaller tires, you're bringing your kid with you, you can take this all the way off, move it down, and it'll have a better fit on your tire. And then you can just tighten it back up, push it into place, and then you're ready to go. This also tilts away. So with a heavier bike rack like this, it is very heavy, along with having bikes that are on the heavier side. You're gonna have to be careful whenever you're letting it down, but it luckily has a little lip that it will rest on if you're a little bit lower to the ground. And then we can open it up, get into the back, get our helmets, get our waters, and then you can go on your way. One thing I do like with this little lip is you can use your foot to kind of help along if you have a heavier bike. It's also going to have a system in place to lock up your bikes basically inside on each one, so you can lock those up. It is a little bit goofy to mess around with, and I personally think some other choices for locking mechanisms are better, but it still works relatively well. Now let's show how to get this bike off. We're going to undo the straps first. And there's going to be a chock over here that's holding this. That's why we don't have a strap on the back wheel, but we can easily just undo this. It's going to take a little bit of force. And then go to the front one and do that one as well. And then you can lift your bike off. Now these are really easy to put back in place, and I love the ratcheting sound, so you know it's nice and in place whenever you put it there. Now let's get some measurements because this does come out a little bit farther, and you can add on to this if you need an extra bike. And it's going to be 35 inches out, so that's a good amount of space. And the little lip down here is going to be about 12 inches, so that is pretty close. So you want to keep that in mind when you're going down the road and maybe there is a hill or a bump, because as your front goes up, your back's going to go down and you may run into some problems with bottoming out. Now with the same mechanism that we had to tilt it away, we can also fold it up. And there's two different points right here and then all the way up. And in this position, it cuts down the space that it takes up to 12 inches, so that's really good, though it does get pretty close to our vehicle, but there's still about 3 inches right here I can put my hands through and move around if need be, but overall it's pretty good that way. When you do have it in this position, it is going to take up the space of the license plate and your backup camera, so that's just something that you need to know while you're going down the road. So the shank is going to be a 2-inch, and it is going to have an anti-rattle bolt and locking mechanism. And as you can see right here, this is going to be key to like with the rest of the locking mechanisms that we have for the bikes themselves. It has all the bells and whistles you would need, a very high weight capacity, but it is kind of a pain to work with. So if you happen to just have road bikes or lighter bikes, I would maybe check out the Thule Helium. That's going to have a lower weight capacity, but it's a lot easier to work with and tilt away, so you don't have to worry about any kind of injuries whenever you are getting your bikes off. And that was a look at the Saris MHS 2 bike rack on our 2020 Ford Escape. Thanks for watching.